Hi everyone, it's Ray from Pro String. I've already cut my string. As you can see, we're going to be working on a badminton racket today. Another racket restringing tutorial on a badminton racket. Today's brand is Yonex and the model is Nanoray. I don't know if you can see that, so pointless in turning it around maybe. The Yonex Nanoray, no pun intended, eye speed. Alright guys, 13 lengths of the full racket. And there we go. 13 and a quarter, let's call it 13 and a quarter. I don't have much time, but I thought I'd squeeze in a video here. Full commitment. It is 10:30 p.m. Unfortunately, I wasn't careful with my tension. I therefore had to start over, annoyingly. So check your tensions, make sure you change. I've just done back-to-back rackets, so I'm just in the groove of things. Yonex BG65 is the string we're using today. As always guys, 3 strings to each side, stringing symmetrically. You don't want to warp your racket, especially badminton rackets. They're easily warped, deformed, damaged. So be careful. This racket is a high recommendation high of 24 pounds. I accidentally didn't change the tension and realized after a few mains, so therefore restarting. My memory doesn't fail me, this racket is quite straightforward, easy to do. Of course, if you know what you're doing, you're not just starting out. My memory doesn't fail me. Don't really think I need to use any stringing aids. Have strung this racket a few times before. Like I say, 24 pounds is the highest recommended tension. I would ideally like to finish this racket in less than 20 minutes, guys. I don't know how realistic that is. Traveling in 36 hours or so. Well, maybe, yeah, 36 hours. I need to get as much done as possible. So after you do 3, we jump up to 6 each side. Very important, as I just mentioned. Compensating your tension from side to side, guys. Don't try to cut any corners. In general, don't double pull strings, don't triple pull strings, don't do silly things like that. It's very noticeable, and if you come across a client that knows what he's doing or understands a little bit about stringing or at least tensions, you will lose that client soon enough. Maybe not straight away. People tend to give you another chance if need be, but yeah. There we go, so we've got plenty of space there. The grommet is being slightly covered, but not like on other rackets. There are a few rackets out there where it's very hard to get through your blocked cross grommet or hole. Grommet also known, there's just the holes here. Effectively, they are holes with pieces of plastic in them. But in any case, they are grommets, yes. So normally I would use a little piece of plastic. Hold on a second. Yeah, there should be enough space. Should be. If not, I'll definitely be kicking myself later if not having had the chance to put it in. Yeah, it's fine. Lots of space there. So it's maybe covering 20% of the circumference of the hole, let's say. But a lot of times it's covering 100%. You have to kind of figured it all out. Yeah, that's fine. That's the same there. I think I've done these mains pretty quick, haven't I? Watch that clock guy, I'm going for a bit of a quicker one today. Normally I probably do like badmintons in 25 minutes, anywhere between 20 and 25. Stepping it up because we've got to step it up. I think I might be meeting a client at 11 p.m. He said he'd happily collect at 11, so I thought, hey, I'll be in the area, so if that works for you, it works for me. Alright guys, up your tension always before your last cross string, only when about to tie a finishing knot, which we are going to do on this side, not on the other side, because we're just doing a one piece, a 2-knot stringing job. Recommendation is to up your tension to 15 to 20%. I like to put my tension up to 15. I feel like I don't need more than that for now. Okay, I'm not gonna tie the knot with my hand for now, and I'll do the rest in a moment. Once I get these strings through, but it's just a habit of mine that I like to weave the first 3, because there seems to be a lot of holes being covered a lot of times in badminton stringing, badminton rackets. But this racket, like I say, it's quite stringer friendly. Let's put it down like that. So Yonex, guys, always recommends to up the tension by 0.5 of a pound, 0.2 kilos, to keep its nice isometric shape. It always says at the top somewhere, generally on Yonex rackets, isometric, and that's what they mean. They have a slightly different look to their head, racket head, as they do in tennis, but that's not the case in tennis. There's no need to change your tensions in tennis, but yes, in badminton they do recommend 0.5 tension. Right, I'm gonna pull my knot now. I've weaved my 3 strings, happy with that, no issues. So, stringing 1 ahead always, guys. What's 1 ahead is exactly what I'm about to do now, is pull through a second weave. I know I've got 1 weaved already, and if you're asking yourself why am I not pulling that string first, I don't think it's going to be. So the Yonex BG65 being a bit thicker, I might have to use my awl, unfortunately. Right, we're through. I also should have just probably tried, like you should try, just cutting the edge of your string a little bit sharper. Well, that should work. Slightly opening the grommet there with my awl and cutting a nice sharp edge, so giving myself a double chance there. Let's see how things look from this side. So yeah, weaving 1 ahead, 1 in front. Oh. Come on. No? It's there, but it's not there. So I think I'm just gonna do, let's see, before I start pushing through with the awl. There you go. That's all I needed to do from the first time, on the first time. So, now if I finished speaking about stringing 1 ahead, that makes the weave much easier on the second one. If I were just to pull this string that's already weaved and then weave again and so on, it'll be more, this weave that I'm doing now would be much more difficult. It wouldn't be as smooth as that, even for myself. this side of the fixture. When your string is being pulled, make sure it's not leaning or pulling even against the fixtures. Yeah, let me get rid of my knot now. Cut it nice and short, guys. I did use a Parnell knot. I will eventually make a video on that. I take my tripod with me to Spain. I've got a little bit of string in there to do as well for my own rackets, for my own purpose. I'll show you guys maybe what I do in Spain. My very old machine, still electric machine, but it's 25 years. It's an electric tabletop. It's got one of those wheels that spin around on the side of the machine. On the inside part that faces you, it's a wheel that goes zzz. Probably couldn't do badminton on those. So badminton rackets need to do on appropriate machines, guys. Not all machines are appropriate for badminton, so watch out with that. If you are going to start doing badminton rackets, make sure your machine can do badminton rackets before accepting any rackets, because you might find yourself you've accepted doing a badminton racket and not having the right tools, fixtures, so on and so on. Then you're going to make yourself look like a bit of a fool, waste your client's time who's probably dropped the racket off to you, unless you want to collect it, which is unlikely, but there are companies that do that for an extra fee. I don't do that. I do offer the express service for us to come to you, so I do call it the on-the-spot service. If you're too far, I offer on the spot. You can come here, go for a coffee, drop your racket off, and I'll do it for you in less than half an hour normally. But yeah, then we offer a mobile service, which it's not. I mean, it is mobile. You don't have to go anywhere. We'll come to you. We'll send a courier, pick up your racket, string it, and send it back to you, depending on your requirements and how quick you need it. And there it is again. I actually lost a grommet earlier, taking the strings out of the racket. And I always tell my clients, cut your strings. If you've broken the string, release the tension. Very important. Release the tension, and then leave the strings in. Let your stringer take them out, because if you start losing grommets, your stringer will charge you for it. And I've seen it before where a client took out his own strings and didn't notice he had taken out easily 10 grommets. So that was five pounds more, €5, £5, $5, something like that. So of course, I'm guessing we don't really want to do that, do we? Guys, when you pull the string, when you're literally physically pulling the string with your tension head, support your string ever so slightly downwards, like this. I know it looks like I might not be doing anything, but I'm holding my string so it doesn't go upwards. I don't want lots of unstraight strings when I finish this job, or any for that matter. So just watch out with that, guys. Okay, strings being stubborn, shared hole. Sometimes this can happen. Just gonna have to be patient with it. Especially with the Yonex BG65 being a slightly thicker string, shared holes. Well, there you go. Thicker the string, the less space they have to share the hole. Let's see how it's going to be now I'd imagine I need a sharp edge again. Yep. And I'll need to probably use my awl. Be careful with that, guys. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I did twist ever so slightly. So push through and twist. That will normally help you avoid poking the string that's already in the grommet. Okay. So we've got, oh wow. Not so good. A main string, once again, this one's a bit trickier because I've got the I've got the fixture in my way here, and of course these strings being a bit thicker. Okay, we're through. That was not easy at all, I have to say. And of course we'll have the same on this side, as you may imagine. I think this might, that was easy. Sometimes it can be easier one side or the other. Generally when you're pushing through it can be a bit harder. As to, well, when you're pushing through on the outside of the frame, as to inside I find sometimes can be a bit kinder, but maybe not, I don't know. Right. Alright guys, not far from finishing now. Is that 4 crosses? Yeah. 4 crosses including this one. This is what I was going on about, not needing, there you go, quite right, not needing any string aids to give myself a little bit more space in the most common of places where the strings you know is going to be completely blocked, but we're good. Got a bit of a feeling here, unless I chop this up a little bit, it's already fraying up a little. Let's see. Pretty much through, it's just going to need a little guidance there. 2 more to go. Well guys, hopefully there was some useful stuff for you there. I am hoping to be out of my door in 3 minutes. Well, actually I need to check a text. If the person said yes to 11, I'll be a few moments late. Has rained a lot in the last few hours, but I mean a lot. Has stopped now. We are in London, UK, so as a lot of you may have experienced or expect, we get a lot of cloudy and rainy weather here, unfortunately. Last cross string, guys, I've already upped my tension. All right, there you go. String, despite being quite a bit covered, was an easy through. Right, and there we go. Cut some of that excess string away, unnecessary. Yeah, it's not going to fit in through there. I do find most clients of ours anyway use feather. I haven't played badminton all that many times, but I know feather is the nicer one to play with. But they are more expensive at the same time, so. I'm not a badminton expert when it comes to being knowledgeable at least about different feathers, feather shuttles, plastic, etc., etc. But yeah, Right there. All right, guys, there you go. There you have it. Hopefully your racket pops off the machine nice and easy, as you just seen. If the racket's not coming off very easily, then you've put it on the machine far too tight. I've got lots of moving strings, which I'm not that pleased. I mean, not terrible, but normally comes out a little bit straighter. Not terrible at all. That's what happens when you're rushing, though. Your strings, if you don't take your time, your strings will be a bit messier at the end, which will cause a little bit of tension loss, unfortunately, but not all that bad at all either. I do have some OCD, I guess you could say. I'm happy with that now. All right, guys, well, there you go. Yonex Nanoray eye speed. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hopefully there's some knowledgeable stuff for you to understand there. Take care, guys. Happy stringing. Bye-bye. Hi, everyone. Ray from Pro String with another racket restringing tutorial. I'm just wondering if I can get that a bit closer. Okay. Yes, with another racket restringing tutorial. Today's racket is a badminton racket. No, look at that. Missing grommet. So I always tell my clients, don't take the grommets out, don't take your strings out. But I actually am the one that took the strings out. So I must have a grommet here somewhere. Yep, taking out my strings into the garbage. It's all right. Really? Either that or going crazy. Okay, we need a grommet. Doubt it's that one. Looks like one of the small ones. Yeah. Okay. Putting the garbage back in the garbage. I say bin, putting the bin back in the bin. I'm pretty sure I saw one before. Anyway. No, but I don't like that one. Alright, guys. So I've lost the grommet from the client, but this is what I tell my clients. Don't take your strings out, just cut them out. That way I can't blame you for losing a grommet. And there I am, losing grommets. Okay, let's pretend, let's just go with it. I'm not gonna go back and try to make that perfect video. It's late at night as well. I forgive myself. Right, this racket is a Nanoray, no pun intended, Nanoray eye speed. Nanoray eye speed. Okay, right. Hopefully this all goes a bit better than the start. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and a bit. Are my preferred, I'm still looking for the grommet, aren't I? It's annoying, but not the end of the world. Right, I've got to be somewhere at 11 p.m. Pick up and drop off rackets. Yes, that's right, at 11 p.m. Come back and carry on stringing. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, guys. Starting from the bottom, looping upward. First loop. When I say loop, I mean that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's a 22 by 21, I think, if I'm not massively mistaken. 22 lanes by 21 crosses. Why did I just close that. I've just come off a badminton racket. Right, 20. Where's the label? Alright, here it is. My box of grommets covering it. 24 pounds, guys. Make sure there's plenty, well, maybe that's a bit too much. Make sure there's plenty of room for the racket to move around. I say plenty, but I don't really mean that much. Just a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah, so 22 by 21 stringing pattern, if I'm not mistaken. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. There you go. I'm not memory-wise, I'm not remembering all the badminton models. I've got too many tennis racket stringing patterns in my head. So to remember all the tennis is one thing, which I'm pretty good at. And sometimes if I don't remember it, I can just look at a tennis racket and know straight away, right, that's 18, 20, I can just tell. I can tell all the mains on a badminton because it's always 22, 11 to each side. However, crosses can vary anywhere between 21 and 22, which is the most common. I would say 21 is probably the most common before 22, but there are quite a few 22s out there. So yeah, guys, 3 strings, 3 main strings to each side. Still looking around for that grommet. You want to string symmetrically. I'm using Yonex BG65 and I've just come off a Yonex BG80. You guys can see me playing or loosening up ever so slightly with the clamps. That's what I was doing. I felt like it was slightly too tight for my liking. Not tight enough to damage the string or mark the string or anything like that. Yonex BG65 is at 0.70 millimeters and the Yonex BG80 is 0.68. 0.68, so it's only a 0.2 millimeter, but you can feel it when you're coming back to back badminton rackets. You can definitely feel the thicknesses of different strings. I feel like the Yonex BG65 is harder, slightly harder, both being multi-filament strings. Yonex BG65 is more appropriate for plastic players. Plastic shuttles are much more aggressive on the strings than feather, for example. So if you're using feather, maybe a Yonex BG80, Yonex BG Ultimax 66, or something like that. So the thinner the string, it's fine to use thin strings, but only if you use feather, really. You may want to go against your recommendation from your stringer, but don't go back crying to them because you've been told. Especially if you've heard this video. I have had it before, where I do recommend the thicker strings for players, badminton players, and they're quite adamant about Yonex, about going for the thinner string, like a Yonex BG80, Yonex BG Ultimax. Guys, we have 6 main strings to each side before I just keep talking about everything but stringing. Right, I'm not going to use my stringing aids, little pieces of polyester tennis string. Not sure if you guys can see. Let's see if you can see. I can see it on my phone. So you can see this little hole here. I'll zoom in a little bit more. So you can see that it's covering, right? But it's not covering the full string. So therefore, I don't need to use my stringing aids. I would normally put a small piece of polyester tennis strings. Exactly looks like that. I would put it in between the loop. Give myself that little bit extra space, but because this string, how would you call it? Because it's not covering the hole fully, it's probably covering maybe just 20-25%. I'll have plenty of space, therefore don't need the stringing aids or the pieces of tennis string. So we've got another cover here, covering another hole here. I may need it. Let's see. Can't remember the last time I strung one of these. Nanorays. eye speed. Right. We are stringing at 27 pounds, guys, but big boo-boo for me. It's been a long day. I didn't check the the highest oh sorry, wait, I meant to be on 24 here, don't I? Why am I on 27? Okay, so we're gonna start this video all over again.